everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the chapter by chapter for From Below by Darcy Coates. I'm Di, and this is my audio-only reading vlog for this book. Today, I will be reading chapters 9 through 16 and sharing my thoughts with you along the way. Due to the nature of this reading vlog, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't read these chapters yet, I suggest that you not listen to this recording until you have. So, I am really excited to continue with this book. It looks like we are starting with a chapter that will contain a flashback, so even though I don't really like the whole back and forth between timelines way of storytelling, I'm kind of excited to find out exactly what happened on the ship when it sank. There have already been some things that have been brought up that are really interesting, especially as I mentioned in the previous episode, the mention of the bodies in the wall. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully finding out more about that. Obviously, they are starting to have some things come across their line of vision. At the end of chapter 8, there was some perceived motion, and I feel like that's going to start playing with our diver's minds a little bit, at least Cove, because she seems to be the only one we know saw some kind of movement in the hull. And so, yeah, really looking forward to seeing what these next chapters will bring. I will check back with you either when I'm done with the chapters or if I find anything of note to talk to you about between the chapters. And so I will chat with you later. Okay, I just finished reading chapter 16. Very nice place to stop. Things are definitely feeling a little bit more uneasy. And what was that just happened at the end of chapter 16? Very, very interesting. I will say that when I first started reading today's chapters, my first thought was, what the heck is Aiden doing? Aiden, he seems to be just taking risks with his oxygen for what I'm feeling is no good reason. I mean, oxygen equals life, right? And so, if he is running low on oxygen, then, the whole little recording that he made in yesterday's chapters was for nothing, because if he runs out of oxygen, that's it, right? I just feel like there's got to be more to why he's risking so much than just, if I finish this mission and, we're successful with this expedition, that I feel worthy enough for the person that he wants to propose to at the end. But he's like fumbling the ball. He's concealing the amount of oxygen he has. I don't know. I mean, I went back and looked at what his duties were, and he really is just an assistant. So I don't know why they felt he was qualified enough to do the dive. Even at that, I think we had some passages with Sean talking about how many dives he had done, and even though he's the ROV expert and the ROVs aren't working, why did they not take him instead of Aiden? That doesn't make sense to me. So there's a whole bunch of questionable things that are happening at the moment, and particularly I'm very confused as to why Aiden is on this expedition. Like, especially if he has just gotten his diving license. He doesn't have the experience to do dives like this. So why? I don't understand. I mean, obviously we've been told that Roy got him this job, but at the same time, did they lie about his experience? I mean, we already know Roy fudged his certification, right? It's just, I don't know. And why isn't anybody else picking up on the fact that Aiden's skittish? He's fumbly. doesn't seem to be as calm and collected as everybody else. I mean, the only person that's really checking on him is Roy, and obviously Roy has a little bit of a personal attachment to him. And so, yeah, I am enjoying the expedition of the ship. Very interesting. We're getting those chills. We're getting uneasy environment feels. And especially, again, like with what happened at the very end of chapter 16, things are starting to kick up a notch. We're also seeing things happen in the past. The uneasiness coming to the ship while it was still sailing, with the two people that went overboard, and all of the fog that is so thick that you can't even try to run a rescue. Hearing things that aren't necessarily ship sounds, and people just being generally uneasy as far as the ship's crew goes. So I'm enjoying that part as well. I'm definitely feeling more invested in the story at this point. In my copy, I just finished page 120. So I feel like we're going through this book at a nice pace. And I'm definitely enjoying these chapters more than I enjoyed the previous sections chapters, just because I like to have a lot of like movement in the stories that I read, and I feel like we're getting that right now. So it looks like they're on their ascent back to the ship on the first dive, but with what just happened, will that hinder the ascent? What will that do with Aiden's oxygen supply? Is that going to be an issue on the ascent? I'm really interested to know all of these things as we read the next few chapters. So that'll be it for me for this episode. Let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts were. Or what are your thoughts on Aiden and what he's doing and the amount that he's investing to just feel like he's worthy for somebody? Is it worth it? Do you think that what he's doing is worth it for what outcome he wants? I would really love to know. And how are you enjoying the environment of the ship and what they have uncovered so far? Let me know. And if nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me some kind of ocean emoji down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated. It would really help me out, and that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.